to our presentation this morning. Our Middlebury Union Middle School's Wild Side presentation. I am Paul Sherrier. I'll be your MC for today's show. We have three teams of young environmental engineers. Is this working, my man? Okay. And each one, they've worked today, they've worked the last 4 weeks to put together a presentation that positively impacts our world. These young scientists have explored. I think I broke the mic. Let me go with this one. That little mishap we had prior to so they've explored the Middlebury College Recycling Center, compost site, biomass plant, and they also toured the Casella Recycling Plant at the Rutland County Solid Waste District. Hard hats and all, decked out, just to better understand our environmental footprint. They even picked through garbage, or, as Ms. Volkman would like me to say, waste, from not only their own camp, but also one of the three places. A business, a residence, and a school, and they conducted a waste audit. A true hands-on experience. So initially they were also mentored by Anina Seiler from the Addison County Solid Waste Management District Program Outreach. She's actually the coordinator of that program. And Sarah Lundquist, an AmeriCorps intern. Anina is actually with us here today. So this morning we'll watch as each team presents this action plan to our prestigious Wild Side. Come on in, don't be afraid. It's just me talking. Come on and get a seat, get comfortable. Don't wait for me. Okay, we're just staying there, that's good too. Okay. As the board, and so what we're going to see is the board going to love their plan and give it an environmental stewardship award of bronze, silver, or gold, or will it be recycled and shredded? We don't know. It says audience applaud. So I'll do this, do some hand signals here. Okay. I do this, applaud, that. This is good. Okay, good. Here we go. So now we are going to meet our Wild Side board members, aka the Green Superheroes. Yeah, here we go. There we go. So our first is Kimberly Bickham. Kimberly is the Middlebury College Supervisor of Waste Management. So a warm welcome for Kimberly. Here we go. Next, Dr. Rebecca Gould. Dr. Gould is the Middlebury College Professor of Environmental Studies. So a warm welcome for Dr. Gould. Here we go. Next, Patty Johnson. Patty is the Addison County Solid Waste Management District Business Manager. Welcome, Patty. And finally, our last Wild Side board member is none other than Vermont Lieutenant Governor David Zuckerman. He brings his expertise of organic farming and environmental legislation to our board. Welcome, board members. Please take your seats. Now, entering the stage with our young environmental engineers are their Wild Side teachers and their mentor, Anina Seiler. We also have a special guest with us from the Vermont NEA, President Don Tinney. The Vermont NEA helped fund this program through a generous equity grant. Thank you, Mr. Tinney and the Vermont NEA for supporting our students. Round of applause again. Thank you. Now, before we begin our presentations, the students would like to entertain you with a little song that highlights many of the important concepts that they studied. Zoe, you ready, girl? Members, are you ready? Okay. Let's see if you do the thing.
5, 6, 7, 8. We can take our cans, sort them into a different bin. Find different packaging to store another win. Like a takeaways, solution taste. Allowing all to view Mother Nature's perfect taste.
Wash out jars, cans, and others. So they're clean.
Yeah.
Plastic stack is vital as using less polystyrene.
Yeah.
Reusable bags, food containers, and glasses. It takes just a little thought to make a really big difference.
Let's come together and show Mother Earth how much she's worth. Bring confusion, generation, she's not just our Earth. Let's ensure the world survives. And reduce, reuse, and recycle. It's all bases, taking us always. Trash bag after trash bag, out of eyes into each place. Composting it away, we mix this down away. Giving us more land to take to a outside place. Let's come together and show Mother Earth how much she's worth. Bring confusion, generation, she's not just our Earth. Let's ensure the world survives. And reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Okay. Okay. You might notice Mr. Zuckerman got up and he said, boy, those kids can really put the motion before the house. Okay. Took me back to 14 years of dance recitals, my daughter. Okay. Now, we get into the nitty-gritty. Ready to get trashy? All right. Now, that's my first mark. Okay. Here we go. Strike one. First action plan. The residential recyclers. Please welcome the residential recyclers to the stage.
Hi, my name is Nicholas, and our team name is the Residential Recyclers. These are my partners, Melissa, Jacob, Lane, and Marcus. Our team has completed the waste audit for the neighborhood home. The Almost family, we thank the Almost family for allowing us into their garage, helping us with the waste audit. We think that by doing the waste audit for a home, we can help other families to learn more about managing waste. Waste is unwanted or useful items that have no value to the buyer, such as spoiled food or used paper. We were class Abram and safety classes when we started the waste. As part of the audit, we were able to determine what type of waste is produced, identify areas of strength and managing waste, and identify areas of improvement in managing waste, the qualitative and quantitative. The collective helped us to figure out some action steps that we hope all families will be able to use to improve their community. Thank you. Now, JT will.
Hi, my name is Jacob and I'm the waste audit engineer. I hope to identify the problem, solution, and explain how the information is collected. Our team feels the problem that needs to be solved is that landfills keep getting bigger. They're putting food scraps in landfills, but they need to be in the compost. Our data tells us that people ways so we can find ways to reduce, reuse, and recycle more items. Reduce, reuse, and recycle, and will help us to follow the law in 2020. That says all homeowners must compost their food scraps. Before we ask you to support our action plan, we would like to share some background information about our process this week. Our team collected waste from the Oakmost residents. It's a family of 4 people, 2 adults and 2 kids under the age of 14. The waste was collected for 3 days. We dropped off the trash can, recycling container, and compost bin at the residents' school garage. Then we picked up the waste the next morning. When we came back to school, we sorted the waste and ranked the number of items in each category to collect quantity of data. Thank you, Alex.
Hi, my name is Alex Wilson, and my position is Team Scientist. Our action plan is based upon data gathered by the waste audit. First, I will start with compost for day 1. We had approximately 33% of the total waste in the first day. For day 2, we had 35% of the total waste generation from families. I found out the average percentage for the Optimus family is able to meet the recommended guidelines for composting. There were Next was the recycling category. We had 45% of the total waste on Monday, and for Tuesday we had 65% of the waste. For Wednesday, the recycling was 46% of the total waste. Average overall, but I calculated it was 54% of the total waste. This means that the Elkhorn family was able to recycle at least half of the waste, which is good for the environment. Lastly, we gathered data about trash and waste that were in the landfill. Monday was 21%, and for the total waste, Tuesday was 27%, and Wednesday was 29% of the total waste on average, of 25% of the total waste. In conclusion, the Ultimus family is definitely a green thumb family. This quantitative data was analyzed by Alyssa, who will share her results.
Hi, my name is Alyssa. In my group, my role is to analyze our data. Our team completed a detailed data analysis in order to find out how the average household recycles, composts, and gets rid of their waste. As part of my job, I made a bar graph for each of the categories based on the data we collected from Ultimus family. According to the bar graph, the largest category was recycling at 52.2%. The quantitative data in the bar graph supports the strength. Recycling is good because all objects that are recycled can be turned into other items, like plastic, paper, and metal. Steel cans can be recycled into the bar for buildings. Aluminum cans can be recycled into bike frames, and plastic bottles can be made into blankets. Furthermore, the Ultimus family has their own recycling bin, which makes it easy for them to divert any unneeded waste from the landfill. One strength we discovered about the Ultimus family was they produced lots of compost and very little waste. The smallest category on our bar graph was waste at 25.8%. This conclusion is supported by the data on the bar graph. One of the reasons they produced such a small amount of waste was because they recycled and composted all their remaining waste and diverted all of that unneeded waste from the landfill. Our quantitative data also includes a couple items that were misplaced, which includes the coffee grounds and K-cups and plastic tape dispensers. Rain will talk about how the single-use items impact the environment.
Hello, my name is I am the Sustainability Coordinator and the Community Educator by helping people like the Oswald family understand how to reduce, reuse, recycle, and compost more efficiently, like composting their coffee grounds. Our plan offers suggestions in 3 areas: reducing and recycling. The information we gathered helps us to make different choices that are better for the environment. For example, based on the research, the Altamont family might want to consider purchasing multiple use items and containers that can be reused, such as metal water bottles. The Altamont family could try reaching out to other families to teach them how to compost because they do this very well. The Altamont family could also try the Green Thumb Challenge, which aims to connect children with nature and the healthy benefits of gardening in a nationwide movement to get kids growing. All of these suggestions would help the Altamont family and other families take care of the environment. The more people know about the problem, the more they can help find a solution. Good habits come from having good examples to follow. They can be encouraged by adults who set a good example for their younger family members. Families can work together by recycling, reducing, and reusing items. Everyone can help each other to make the environment a healthier place to enjoy. Thank you.
Nice job. Board members, do you have any questions prior to conferring? You're going to have to use one mic because I broke a mic.
If that's reverb, I could just project. I have a question for you. Thank you for your presentation, which is really nice and clear. Why do you think this family, what was it about the family that A, made them willing to have you go through their trash? And B, why do you think they were particularly good? You said they were very good at composting and very attentive to recycling. Why do you think that was?
Anybody can answer.
Anybody,
You don't have to
yeah, that's
answer.
for anybody.
Well, to start with A, I think they let us because they know us pretty well, and they have some kids of their own that come to Mary Hogan and the middle school.
To answer question number B, I think they have a compost and garden, so I'm assuming that they would want to teach their kids and other people to follow the solid water law coming 2020 and to use and just to help the plants grow by using a green animal source.
So they see how they can use that compost and then put it back into the garden, and so there's a cycle right within the household.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Well, I was going to ask, what did you get from the data that was especially helpful or surprised you that you maybe expected or didn't expect in your results?
What surprised us is that they had very little waste compared to other households that could be possible.
I have a question. Did you give them any teaching of any sort? Or did they do this all on their own? Did you teach them at all
No.
what you wanted to do?
Then
Did you ask them how they learned?
no, never.
No.
Or maybe a follow-up on that, once you had the information and did you present it to them, and what was their reaction to what you found?
Yep, that's
You say, I don't know is a good answer.
I don't know.
That's okay.
Find
It's
it.
an okay answer, absolutely.
So I think I don't know is the answer, I'm guessing. We do have another question.
I have a question. It's obvious you gave, when you were going through the trash and you were able to see what was recycling and what was not.
How much did you find that was in their trash that could have been recycled outside of the K-Cups? And where did you guys get your information from of what is able to be recycled? What resources did you use?
So the first part, there was some tinfoil that could have been recycled that we found in the trash. And the other part, we're not so sure.
So I want to compliment you on something that when I was reading your report a little last night, and your observation about K-Cups I thought was really good. And you obviously did a little research about how, I think they're trying to get into a recyclable place, but they're not there yet. So I did bring you guys a present, which is a recyclable K-Cup resource. So you can grind your coffee, put it in this little basket, stick it here, and that will fit in a K-Cup. So that's your little door prize that I have to offer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We will love to give it to our parents.
Well, that's another question that I have for you is your parents or whoever are the people that are in your life, parents, grandparents, friends, obviously knew you were doing this summer. Do you think they learned from you, some of them, things that they didn't know that you taught them? You're all nodding.
Well, I think for the most part, most families in Vermont do follow and believe in the law that's coming in 2020. So I do think that they did learn a little bit on how to recycle, but I think for the most part, I think everyone did have already known about how to stay free energy.
So Alyssa, you're shaking your head no. Are you willing to share?
No, it's fine.
And someone else nodded yes. So what did your family learn at the end there? You were nodding, oh yeah, my family learned something. What was it?
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, take the mic.
What's one thing that you guys weren't doing before that you're doing now?
I mean, do you guys go home now and see your parents throw something in the trash and do you go, oh my God, don't do that? Put it in the recycling bin.
Well, you're empowered to do that now. We all know
That's
you
right.
are to do that. The board has empowered you to do that.
Borrow the cape.
All right.
Okay, ready to confirm? Yeah. Okay, you guys confirm? Go ahead. You guys complete?
Conferring on one team and then the other? Or we just give some general thoughts on their score, but we're not going to compare them to gold, silver.
I don't think what's asked.
Well, on their chart, you're going to refer where they are. But I'm still going to we're going to compare the three charts at the end.
Yeah.
So what did you, I was realizing all of a sudden that,
One of these here.
no, you have one in each folder. There's one for each team. So, and what I've now realized, of course, is they presented the first person with the background, the second with the problem solver, the third. So now I know.
Gold, think it's gold? What's your prediction, Silver?
The first person's done.
Prediction? Got a prediction?
So you do your individual circle.
Yeah.
Wood? Okay. Gold, silver, bronze. Any predictions?
Gold.
We don't
Lane?
give the score till the end, right?
Gold, okay.
So, no, you're going to give them the score, and then we're going to put their medal on this picture, and then go sit down. So at the end of
At the end of each. So each one gets a gold. So it's not like one's going to be
we
gold.
have 18 bronze. We have 18 silver. We have 18 because we expect this to be. What do you think?
Okay,
So they're not competing with each other.
There is no competition.
how does this compare to last year? Lane's a veteran. Last year, they had a little business. They were entrepreneurs. This year, you're looking at the other end, waste. How do you compare the two? Comparison? You prefer one over the other?
Now we know a little more.
Another veteran. What do you prefer? Shark Tank or waste?
Right, I haven't done that.
Yeah. Nick, I believe you're also a veteran. Shark Tank or waste? Shark Tank. Shark Tank. Okay. Sorry. Okay, that's strike two for me. Strike two. If you're interested in this job, you can see Mrs. Santa Maria after the presentation. Sure, after I try to turn that the presentation board around, knock that over, and that'll be my third strike. intense group we have here. Hope they can go faster than we did with the budget. I'm not sure. I don't know if soccer pool was the best choice. Pretty intense.
Yeah, like what's the next step? Right, and they said the way these teams, unfortunately, they're so much weaker. Well, I don't remember. Oh, no, that's just
That's why we have 18 bronze, 18
Right.
silver, 18 Sure, if you want to, like, absolutely.
turn off the light. Yeah. Rebecca, is that?
We may have a decision.
Tell them what it is.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've been tasked, I think, because of my line of work, to offer the assessment. So first I want to say you guys were all great. It's really scary to stand up in front of a bunch of people and talk about your work. I have to do that every day, and I still get nervous. So this is a congratulations to the whole group for that. And tell me, chime in if I'm missing something. We really liked your quantitative and qualitative data collection, your statements of the problem and background. Those were all really strong. One of the things we thought you could improve on, and it's actually not a clear category in our little chart, but we all think is a skill to learn, is presentation, connecting with the audience, modulation of your voice, getting really excited, and a couple of you did a really good job with that, but as a group, we think you could have worked a little bit better to all get on target with that. And the other thing we hoped a little bit more for was some of the self-reflection. We asked you a few self-reflection questions and you gave good responses, but we thought they could have been a little bit sharper. And the action plan, which is written down pretty well, we didn't quite get come across in the oral presentation. But those are all small refinements. In general, we thought you did an excellent job, and we would like to reward you the silver medal.
Thank you for your thorough explanation. And now, they will be awarded the silver medal. Presentation. Is there some music for presentation? Here we go. Congratulations. Great job. Just stay back here. How's that, Kurt? Okay, our next group. Oh, maybe that's why the podium was there in the first place. Thank you, sir. I don't need him. It's 6 Arrows. Let's hear it for 6 Arrows. Come on out, 6 Arrows.
Hello, we are the 6 Arrows. We came up with our name because there are 6 of us on our team. Rose, Chloe, David, Maya, Josie, and me, Dante. I am the marketer for the group, which means that I will explain the main things like why a waste diet is and how to stay safe when doing a waste diet. We wanted to find out how much waste businesses like Citizens Bank made, so we conducted a waste audit. We want to thank the Citizens Bank for allowing us into their business and helping us with our waste audit. A waste audit is an evolution of the waste that a business produces. A waste audit gives people information about what to do differently with their waste. The waste audit helps give people information that will help us take care of our earth. Taking care of our environment is important because if we don't take care of it, some animals and plants might go extinct. Our team collected 3 types of waste: compost, recycling, and trash. Health and safety is important to everyone on the team, so we all wore gloves, safety glasses, and an apron before we touched any of the waste we collected. After the waste audit, we used the quantitative and qualitative data we collected to write an action plan. Our plan includes strengths and suggestions for improvement. We hope you enjoyed listening to our proposal. Josie will be talking more.
Hi, I'm Josie and I'm the engineer from 6 Arrows. Our team is working hard to solve the problem of the items that are going into the landfill. The Citizens Bank needs to reduce the amount of waste being put into their landfills. Every year, the amount of waste in the world's landfills end up increasing. An average of 70% of everything printed is considered waste, and all of the trees harvested for industrial use. 42% go to making paper. This is important to think about because businesses need to use fewer resources. Our solution to the problem is to conduct a waste audit to gather data about the different amount of types of waste. Our team used the data to make suggestions for reducing how much waste is being put into landfills. This reduction will allow us to follow the law about how in 2020 everyone will have to compost. And if they don't compost, they can get fined for a lot of money. Every material can go into the landfills, but not all of them should. Businesses need to compost and recycle waste instead of putting all waste into landfills. In order to learn more about how businesses handle waste, we collected waste for 3 days from 4 to 5 employees at the Citizens Bank here in Middlebury. We put our waste buckets, compost, recycle, and trash in the downstairs break room. By putting our waste buckets in the break room, we were able to find out how much waste can be composted and recycled. We wanted the bank to compost and recycle so we can divert from the landfill. Each day we sorted and counted the items and only noted a few misplaced items. David will now share the data we collected. Thank you.
Hello, my name is David, and I am the scientist on our team. My role is to report the data that our team collected this past week from our 3-day waste audit. Our team collected quantitative data in the following 3 categories: compost, recycling, and waste, which is basically landfill. The category with the most waste was compost with 53% of the total waste. The second largest category was landfill waste with 35% of the total waste. These results show that most of the, recycling is with 2% of the total waste. These results show that most of the waste is being generated by these employees does not go into the landfills. We sorted each bin in order to collect the data we found. We found misplaced items such as plastic spoons, brown paper towels. Both of these items can't be recycled. So this increased the amount of waste and decreased the amount of waste that can be recycled. We also noticed that correctly replace items such as plastic hamper bags found in the trash could be returned to the store for recycling. Maya will now share her conclusions. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maya. My job in the group is to analyze our data that we collected over the 3 days at the Citizens Bank in Middlebury. So as we know, that we discovered that compost had the most waste over all the 3 days, also had the highest average. Me and my group decided that the compost has a positive impact on the environment because it's an organic cycle and it diverts the amount of waste that goes to landfills each year, which is good for our environment. We also discovered that the Vermont Agency of Natural Resources stated that composting grass instead of trashing them would reduce greenhouse gases emissions as much as not driving 84 million miles, which is like driving around the Earth 3,373 times. We also decided that if employees around the world started composting and recycling, the world would be a whole lot better and it would be healthier for people and animals. And there would also be less greenhouse gases in our Earth's atmosphere. We also discovered that recycling had the least amount of waste, which took us by surprise because we thought that compost would have the least and landfill would be the highest and recycling would be the second highest, but it was the least, which really took us by surprise, as you can see in our bar graph and our pie chart here. And so the big thing that the bank recycled was recyclable plastics 1 through 7, and I kind of thought that would be correct because a lot of people buy things like yogurt containers that have plastic containers, which can be good for the environment, but then it can't. So, but we will now tell you about our action.
Hi, my name is Bowie. Today I'm going to tell you about our action plan. It helps protect the environment by reducing the amount of items that were placed in the trash and recycling. Also, our group looked at reusing materials that were placed in the recycling bin as to avoid placing all of these items in the trash. Let's start with reduce. All businesses like the bank could stop buying packages of 100 and buy lower packages of like 10 metal bowls. Next, reuse. Businesses could reuse their recycled glass bottles and make them into piggy banks, flower pots, or metal utensils and wooden utensils. As you can see on the board, there are metal utensils right here. Which could help them advertise for their business. And finally, recycling. The building could add a small container to recycle plastic grocery bags and give them to Hannaford's, as they're one of the places in town that reuses them. So this will keep them out of the trash. Scrap paper could be sorted and used to make other helpful office supplies. Some recyclable paper could be cut up to make a note paper or folded to make folders. Trees are a precious renewable resource. On average, 17% of everything printed is considered waste, and all of the trees harvested for use in industry. 42% go to making paper. By reusing more paper, we can reduce the amount of trees being turned into, which protects the sustainable development of forests. Thank you. Rose will now talk more about our impact of our action plan.
Hi, my name is Rose and I'm the community educator, and I think it's important for people to know about the landfill and the problem at hand, and to start with waste audits, because waste audits give you information about how to the environment by letting you know what you're putting into the compost, recycling, and trash. One example of how employees could reduce, reuse, and recycle is to bring metal utensils to work. Because you are reducing the amount of plastic you are using, saving money, and you can reuse them for many years. And if you don't want them or they're not being used anymore, you can recycle them. Reusing metal utensils is one small step towards learning how reusing materials makes a big difference. Reducing helps save energy and prevent pollution caused by harvesting raw materials. It also reduces greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to global climate change. Reducing those emissions also helps sustain the environment for future generations. Even though these changes sound small, they have a big impact. The more people learn about the environment and the landfill crisis, the more willing people will be to get into the habit of reducing, reusing, recycling, and compost. It's all about the education and Assistant City Administrator Ruth. People are willing to go ahead with it. They just need the information. One helpful piece of information is that some waste collectors will lower fees if wasted food is separated from the trash and sent to a compost facility instead of the landfill. Business people also need to know that composting wasted food saves money and helps the environment. If people learn more about the environment, the landfill crisis, and their negative impact, cost-saving measures, they could take changes would be made. These small but beneficial changes would reduce businesses' human footprint and help the sustainability of the earth. Thank you.
Mr. Watkins, I ask there, board members, do you have any questions? Do you need any clarification before you proceed? Please use the microphone. Thank you.
All right, I think this might pick things up pretty well. I had a question. It sounds like most of your work was done in the cafeteria. So is that true, or were you studying all of the bank's waste at the end of the day?
We were just studying like their break room where they like take their lunch break and like where they eat for the day.
That helps because I too was surprised at the high compost ratio, thinking there would be lots of paper, which would be recycled if one were looking at the whole bank. Do you think there are any other things that would have been different if you were looking at all of the waste from the facility as opposed to one part of the business?
I would think that recycling would be the highest and compost would be the lowest and trash would be in the middle.
Yeah. This is sort of a big question rather than a factual question. You all seem pretty optimistic. I just got a lot of optimism out of your energy. So I'm wondering, from your experience working with the bank, what keeps you optimistic about the future?
Anyone can answer
Rose,
that.
Rose, you really came through, Rose.
Come on, Rose. Rose, why are you so positive about that with education, people will make good choices? Why are you so positive about that?
Well, because in the bank, when we gave them trash bin or recycling bin and a compost bin.
Did they ask you questions?
At times they did, but since we gave them those bins, they got into the habit of it.
So the bank wasn't composting before you guys got there?
No, because they only had a trash bin.
So that must make you feel good.
Yeah, so you gave them the tools to change their habits, and now these bank employees, oh, sorry.
You give them the tools to change their habits, and you made it easier for them, and you explained what you were doing and why it was a good thing, and then got them on board, it sounds like.
And does it seem like you're going to continue to do that? And maybe with some of your other action steps, did you present your action steps to them? And did they indicate whether they were going to consider implementing more of the action steps that you talked about? Utensils or reusing paper in different ways? How did the bank respond?
So we haven't presented to them yet, just so you know. We just finished up the proposal, so that's kind of our next step now that we've wrapped everything up.
Well, fair enough then. No way to answer the question. That's all good.
Sorry.
So I have a show and tell. I can't give you this because I use it every day, but you can tell the bank about it. In addition to silverware, because people might not want to give up their silverware, you can get these nice little bamboo sets, easy to clean. Nobody paid me to advertise this, right? I won't tell you what brand it is. You can keep it in this little container. You've got a little carabiner. You can stick it on your backpack. Awesome. So you can tell the bank about that.
Thank you. Okay. So if there are no more questions, you guys would like to confirm? That'd be great. Okay, just while we're waiting, Maya is also a veteran of Shark Tank and this year's Wild Side project. Which one would you prefer, Maya?
I would prefer this one because it's a big thing that's happening in our world right now. A lot of people don't know.
Well said, Maya. Thank you. And I think we're ready. Here we go.
So we would like to award you gold. We feel as though you did a fabulous job on your presentation, and your excitement and enthusiasm was throughout the group. So great job. And I just want to add something that I thought was particularly strong. Well, we loved your enthusiasm, and you were very well organized in how you presented. But your analysis was particularly rich. So, you know, that's the thing that I look for always in my college students that I'm telling them to do, is develop a complex analysis. And you did a great job with that. It was really rich. And David, I think you want to add something.
Okay, I understand. Only if you don't close them.
Not a problem. And I just want to add that the action plan, I mean, a lot of how we're going to change our habits and improve the world is through our actions. And you had a number of different ideas. They were very tangible. They were bite-sized, small adjustments in a few different ways, but with lots of people, they can accumulate a lot of change. And that presentation to me was really beneficial because I think sometimes the problem seems so big of pollution in the world or waste that we all go, oh, it's too big for me to do anything. And you presented a lot of very bite-sized things that people can do, which makes it much more tangible for folks to take in, and I think that's really important.
Okay, thank you very much. Great job. Great job.
First time. Nice work. My farm is texting questions as you go, so I'm trying to like scream running around the farm. Don't worry, it'll be on community TV. I know, right? It might hurt you. I know that.
Okay, now the pressure's on for our third and final pitch. Please welcome to the stage the Planet Protectors.
Hi, my name is Gavin. I would like to introduce my team members. This is Sonia, Reggie, Devin, Jeremiah, and Orlin. We call ourselves the Planet Protectors because we see too much trash is produced and it is harming Earth. I am the marketer for the group, which means that I will walk you through some background information. Our team is doing a waste audit for the summer school program at Middlebury Union High School. We want to thank MUMS for allowing us into the building and helping us with our waste audit. The waste audit is important because we wanted to find out more about what types of waste is being produced and the best way to manage it. Health and safety is important to everyone on the team, so we all wear glasses, gloves, and equipment. We appreciate you taking the time to listen to our proposal. Sonia will be telling you more about the information.
Hello, my name is Sonia, as I said. Engineer Garcia, as you know, we conduct the waste audit at the Middlebury High School summer program. Because when the waste audit is an evaluation of the waste that you're using for this waste audits are helpful because they help to organize the waste, determine your environmental. We call it data from systems that have worked with it. Use the data from what their waste habits of our treatment. We also learn if there is any instances, it can help us follow the framework we were like also known as Act 140. It's allowing for experiments to fiber waste from the land by recycling and also composting and organic waste that used to have our use. You're not treating out because the waste from the day before and sorted. Record the number of items and weigh each of the treatment. They are very fast as disappointing and compost containers are located in the library of the high school and students brought the composting to the cafeteria during the break. We also recorded and used waste items because certain metals break down at different. For example, catheter first could not be recycled since they did not meet the required 20% like evidence, so they had to return. Our goal was to calculate how much waste was being included over the and how much of it should compost that. This method are added into the thank you for your mental helping to gather data we gathered.
Hi, my name is Remy. I'm going to share some quantitative data with you about the waste we collected. We sorted the waste into 3 main categories and calculated the percentages for each type of waste. On average, we found that 19.3% of the waste total waste was compost. 43.9% of the waste was recyclables, and 38.8% of the total waste went to the landfill. Based on this data, most of the waste was paper materials, and the least amount was compost items like food scraps, napkins, and bowls. Our waste audit showed that some of the items were sorted and placed in the wrong container. For example, On day 1, we found snack wrappers in the recycling. They belong in the trash. These are not good for the machines that sort the recycling. They can contaminate the recycling. On day 2, we found food items in the trash. They belong in the compost. On day 3, we found small plastic silverware misplaced in the recycling. It was too small to be recycled. All of the data we collected was analyzed by Devin. He will tell you about his findings next.
Hello, my name is Devin. I'm a data analyst. I created the bar graph and color-coded it. Green is compost because I figured it would work best for the color combo. Brown is landfill and blue is recycling. Compost was the lowest average because not a lot of food was left over, and a lot of it was actually in the trash because they were not composting correctly. They were putting food scraps in the trash and other food in the recycling just because they didn't care. Composting is usually good for the environment because it can be reused into soil and diverted from the landfill. But in this case, it was kind of bad because the high schoolers were putting them in wrong bins, which could ruin the recycling and the trash, make it so it couldn't be recycled. We found gum in the recycling, which can, if it goes through to the machines, it can gum up the machines' ears. It can also ruin the batch of recycling, get all of the paper, and make it so it can no longer be recycled. Recycling was the highest average over the 100 days because they were recycling a lot of paper and misprinted stuff. But they also were recycling spoons and forks that did not fit the 2x2 rule, which is a rule that has to be recycled, it has to be 2 inches by 2 inches on two sides. Otherwise, it's no longer recyclable. Jeremiah will now tell you about our action plan based on this quantitative data.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah, and I am the Sustainability Coordinator. I will share information about our action plan and explain how it helps protect the environment. I will also include some of the research we did and explain how it supports our action plan. The steps in our action plan are based on the data Devin just explained. Our team's plan is to reduce the amount of waste in the landfill by composting as much organic waste as possible, encouraging the reuse of items and recycling so fewer items are needed. And right here is where our action plan steps are, what we're going to do. And the building could reduce the amount of food that were placed in the landfill by putting the food in the compost. By putting the food in the compost, it helps the environment because it reduces the amount of trash in the landfill. In fact, landfills in Vermont are filled up by 60,000 tons of food scraps each year. According to the benefits of keeping food waste out of the landfill, keeping compost out of the landfill, it will be a legal requirement that everyone must follow in 2020. Our waste audit data also showed that a large number of plastic spoons and forks. Many people think that all plastic silverware is recyclable, but this is not true because it doesn't fit the 2x2 rule. It is actually too small to be recycled, so it ends up in the landfill. During our waste audit, we determined that the high school could use up to 70,000 uses of plastic silverware. All of this could be kept out of the landfill if they switched to metal silverware. Lastly, the building could recycle paper that was misplaced in the trash bag. During our waste audit, we determined the building recycled 41.7% of paper, and even if a small amount is in the trash bin, it would go to the landfill. It is always good to take a moment and think before you throw something away. One method to increase the recycling of this material would be to put up signs on the recycling bin. Thank you for listening to our action plan, and now more information about these ideas will be presented by Orlin.
Hello, my name is Orlin. My role as a community educator for the Middlebury Union Middle School Waste Audit is to reflect on our group's evaluation of the amount and types of waste created by 16 students and 4 teachers over a 3-day period. Waste cuts are important to when building a waste awareness so improvements can be made in managing waste. Some of our waste audit goals were to determine what type of waste is being produced and how much waste was created. For example, on the first day of pickup at the high school, we found out that teachers and students created 35.5% of their waste as compostable waste, which seemed kind of high. We noticed that their composting bowls, which were in fact compostable, but their food scraps were also being thrown in trash. Other misplaced items included snack wrappers and paper towels. After we evaluated and announced these findings to the high school summer program, we noticed that the amount of compostable waste dropped to an all-time low of 9.5% on the second day and 13% on the final day. With the waste being diverted in the appropriate bins, we can change our impact on the environment, certainly by 2020 with Act 148, by using less plastic bottles and utensils and composting food. Another idea we found was to put reminders on people's phones and refrigerators, or a list of appropriate items to be listed on the appropriate bins, which will ensure a consistent reminder to accurately dispose of waste. Thanks for your time and attention to our waste audit discoveries.
Any questions, board members? Any questions?
I actually had a question all lined up about why there were such big swings, because when you look at your graph, as you pointed out in the conclusion ruling, the compost was really high and then it really low, and recyclable was pretty good, and then it really framed it up and then dropped again. And waste kept going up. So you explained why the compost number changed, but I'm curious, why do you think over time recyclables and waste also changed, not just from the adjustment from compost, but waste literally went from 23% to 56%, increasing over the 3 days. Is that all from the information you all gave folks? Do you think there were adjustments? Were there different things happening in the school any particular day that led to these ratios changing so much?
Pass it off. Who wants it? Evan wants it.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure like the high schoolers like were eating more some days, and like one day we found like a bunch of cheese stick wrappers for waste. So I'm thinking like what they ate like varied between what the recycling and like what went in the landfill and compost.
Questions?
I have a question. Go ahead.
If I remember correctly, I work for the district, and I'm pretty sure Middlebury Union High School has a sorting table. Was that in use during your survey? For those who don't know, a sorting table is something the high schools are using that has different areas for them to put their food and their recycling and their trash in. We had quite an extensive program going at the high school, so I was wondering if that was being used during this.
No, we provided bins for them to use, and the teacher brought them to the cafeteria and back and forth to the library cafeteria, so that was the only ones that they used that time.
Okay, I was just wondering. Thanks.
So I think it was you, Devin, who said, well, when you were finding, and it seems comparatively across the three presentations, don't worry, this is a compliment, that the high schoolers did the least good job in terms of putting things in the wrong places and so on. And I'm glad the middle schoolers are teaching the high schoolers what to do. But at one point you said they didn't know or they didn't care. And so I'm wondering, you don't have to be the only one who reflects on this, anybody in the group can, but what was going on there? Do you think they did know what to do and they didn't care? And if so, how do you get them to care?
So my question, I'm going to piggyback on that. My question had a little bit to do with that, and it was, when you presented how they did on the first day, how receptive were they to changing? Because that's what we run into at the college, is people aren't very receptive to change. So what were their comments to you?
Well,
see, the problem was is that when they put bowls in the compost, some of them were compostable, some of them were not. And some people put the plastic spoons in the recyclable bin, but it's not recyclable because it doesn't fit the 2x2 rule. And yeah, so we went back there every day to collect our data, and we explained to them where stuff should go, so they progress better and better by each day a little, so yeah.
So it sounds like they were receptive.
Yeah, and the fact that they progressed shows that you really taught them something, so that's great.
Further questions? Ready to confirm? Okay.
Partly that's my yeah, I think so. That second group really was like so second was so substandard of unfolding.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, but I think that one or two reasons.
Refrain from asking questions because after Maya's comment, I think I have my job back for next year. So just gonna lay low. Down on top.
I was going to say somebody else had to go.
I think silver was the overall color.
Yes.
That they're fairly consistent across the board as far as information. I mean, if only they want to go with the last after step right there. She gets some compliments on those. He's not really watching. And it's good for you. You should do it. I do it all the time. No? Give it? Yes. I'm going to show them that you have a company.
They're making me talk human lines so bad.
We're trying to show the kids that everybody can overcome their struggles.
We'd like to point out, we all think that because you have to deal with high schoolers as parents of teenagers, we probably have the hardest group to convince and change their minds, because sometimes they're not all that receptive, as we all know. I think you guys did a good job on your presentation. I think it could have been a little clearer in some parts, but overall, I think your data was really good and your analysis was really good. And your action plan was actually pretty great, and you guys did do a really good job, determining the goals, composting and stuff like that. You did realize what needed to be sorted out and what didn't. So I think you guys did a great job. We're going to award you the silver.
And there's actually golds over there. Do you want a gold? I can give you a gold.
Great job, Patty. Very well spoken.
Thank you.
Okay, other members, if you'd like to make your way back to the back of the gymnasium, we can get to wrap up.
It was terrible. I have a master's of business.
Okay, let's hear it for Planet Protectors. Here we go. Great job. Great job. Okay, thank you. Can you make your way back of the gym, please? Back of the gym, please. Over there, I mean. That's what I meant. There you go.
So those guys too, or no?
So,
All groups?
okay. You're good. Okay. We got it. Okay. We're just about to wrap up here. First thing I'd like to do, and I'd like you to help me, is to thank our board members. For first timers, they did a great job. Great job. Very good, thorough, specific feedback. Nice work. Now, I would like the students as a group to please come forward and earn some applause. Come on, students, all groups. Come on. Great job, wonderful job. And Anita Seiler, their mentor, if she would please join the group, that would be terrific. And of course, none of this would have been possible without great teachers behind the scenes. So please, a round of applause for Martha Santa Maria and Katie Baldwin. And Amy Piper. And Amy Piper. Thank you. Okay. You want me to do this? Okay. My job is done. Thank you very much.
Let's give a round of applause to our incredible MC, Paul Sherrier. He is the superhero in athletics class. We also want to give a round of applause to Zoe Howe. She's our tech goddess. Former step taker for 2 years, right, Zoe? So volunteer time. And I have a special request. Teachers, if you're in the audience, could you please stand up now? Our ESP or teachers, please stand up for months. And thank you so much for coming. Thank you. And now our last thank you. So this summer we actually got a large grant through Donors Choose, and that grant came from actually 13 individuals. And so we toyed around with doing these for our original Wild Side and ended up getting a little dirty with our waste audit. So through those 13 donors, we are actually going to continue the theme of environmental awareness throughout the school year in hopes that many of our Wild Side students can join us. So I just want to thank the following people because they did donate their own money to help us continue this cause. So it was Pam Quinn, Katie Ford, Doug Agner, the Santa Maria Rural family, Shannon Jenkin, Dragons from Vermont, Connie Crosney, Jen Chapdelaine, and then we had a couple anonymous donors, one from Arizona and one from Vermont, and then 2 companies, the Hidden Moose Farm and the APO Pacific, and then lastly, Lily Foster donated last minute to keep our seeds Vermont local. So we really appreciated those 13 individuals, and we're hoping to see a lot of these students back with us joining us throughout the year, really promoting sustainability among the bee populations. Thank you all for coming. We're going to grab a picture with all of our students right in front of this awesome tiger right here, and then we will see you afterwards. Thank you.